You know, at the heart of almost every great myth, there's some kind of object of immense power, right? Well, today we're diving into one of the most potent ones out there, the Celestial Pearl, and the absolutely epic quest to get it back.
Just try to picture this. An entire empire, its prosperity, its peace, everything, all hanging by a thread. And that thread is a single sacred object. I mean, the Celestial Pearl wasn't just some pretty jewel. It was the literal source of divine harmony. And well, that harmony was about to be completely shattered.
So what happens when all that harmony just vanishes? Yeah, it's not pretty. First, let's really dig into the true power of this pearl and the absolute calamity that was unleashed when it disappeared.
Okay, so with the pearls stolen by this malevolent dragon, Yinglong, the whole empire just fell into ruin. We're talking rivers slowing down, crops withering in the fields, and this deep, profound sorrow just blanketing the people. It was a true calamity, a total disaster that touched every single life.
And the contrast here is just stark. It's night and day. On one hand, you have the pearl's blessing, radiance, abundance, this state of perfect harmony. But the dragon's curse? It just wiped all that away and replaced it with woe and calamity. And this was all born from pure malicious spite. Make no mistake, this wasn't an accident. It was a direct attack on harmony itself.
So what would fuel that kind of malice? It all comes down to one thing: pure covetousness. See, Yinglong didn't actually need the pearl's power. His greed, his avarice, it was for the object itself. He just wanted to possess its prestige without doing any of the work to earn it. But, even in the middle of all this despair, a hero emerges. And he's probably not who you'd expect. Not a mighty warrior, but a scholar, stepping up to face what seems like an impossible challenge.
His name was Lian. And like I said, not a warrior, not a king, just a scholar. So what made him the only person who could possibly solve this enigma? It wasn't muscle. It was his rare character, a character defined by two really crucial virtues.
Okay, so first up, Lian had what's called perspicuity. It's this incredible clarity of thought. So while everyone else was running around seeing only chaos, his deep insight let him grasp the true scale of the crisis. He didn't just see the problem on the surface. He understood its very essence. But hey, insight by itself isn't enough, is it? You gotta act on it. And that's where Lian's second virtue comes in: gallantry. I mean, it's one thing to understand a problem, but it takes a special kind of noble, chivalrous courage to decide you're gonna go face a terrifying dragon.
So, armed with this amazing combination of clear insight and noble courage, Lian makes his vow. He commits himself 100% to this perilous quest, knowing full well the incredible dangers that are waiting for him.
All right, now we're getting to the heart of the journey, the big confrontation. Lian's quest leads him straight to Yinglung's celestial lair. And believe me, this is a place that is going to test every single fiber of his being. And this confrontation, it wasn't just going to be a physical fight. No way. This was a battle of character. You've got Lian's fervent devotion, his wisdom, his integrity on one side, and on the other, you have Yinglong's covetousness, his hostility, and that massive, haughty pride. So inside the lair, all these devious traps and lightning snares just erupt around Lian. But he doesn't try to muscle his way through them. Instead, he uses sagacity, this profound, wise judgment that lets him see through every illusion and sidestep every single danger. Pretty smart, right? And then comes the ultimate test of his character. Yinglong himself appears, and he offers Lian a mountain of treasures. We're talking a lifetime of opulence. If he'll just give up, just forsake his quest. This right here is the dragon's most devious trap of all, a lure. He's presenting this incredibly captivating temptation, basically hoping to corrupt Lian with the exact same greedy desire that consumes him. It's a test of the soul. But Lian, he doesn't even hesitate. Not for a second.
He sees the offer for exactly what it is, just a reflection of the dragon's own haughtiness, his arrogant pride. So he rejects it, outright. His commitment to his real purpose is completely unshaken.
It was Leon's resolve that really carried him through this firm, unwavering determination. It wasn't just a shield, it was a weapon. His powerful rejection of greed actually started to weaken the dragon, whose own power was rooted in those very vices. How cool is that? Okay, but the dragon is defeated, and it's not over yet. There's one final test. The pearl itself is protected by a mythical Keelan. And this creature, it doesn't test your strength or your wisdom, it tests your probity. It basically gazes right into Leon's soul, and it's his shining moral integrity that finally proves he's worthy. So, having passed every single test of mind and spirit, Leon finally completes his quest. And now we get to see the reward for all that virtue, a harmony restored. And his path to success really spells out the story's true lesson, doesn't it? First, he had to resist temptation. Then he had to prove his integrity. It was only after doing those things that he could restore the sacred pearl, and with it, bring back the celestial light itself. And with the pearl back where it belongs, the heavens themselves respond. The Jade Emperor shows his benevolence, just showering the land with his generous goodwill that completely washes away the dragon's calamity and brings back prosperity. And of course, Leon himself is recognized for the very qualities that made all this possible. The Jade Emperor praises his gallantry, that noble courage, and his perspicuity, his clear insight. This cements his legacy as a true hero, one who chose duty over personal desire every single time. So the legacy of this myth is really clear, and it's super powerful. It teaches us that temperance, that self-restraint when you're faced with temptation, and fervor, that passionate devotion to a greater good, are always more powerful than greed. And that leaves us with a final thought, something to really chew on. This myth shows us a hero who overcomes a crisis, not with a sword, but with his character. Which kind of makes you wonder, right? When we see greed creating calamity in our own world, where does true courage really lie?